Continuing to make the diagonal journey up the neck, workout number 2 is going to start incorporating 3-note power chords. We're going to start out with that G5 just like we did in workout number 1, and we're going to make those diagonal movements, but we're going to incorporate movements of major thirds. So the root movements of all the power chords we're going to play are actually going to spell out some augmented triads. We're going to do this in 3 different cycles before we recycle back to that third position G5. Check it out. So we'll start here in the third position, as I said, with G5, 3-note voiced power chord. And we'll make those diagonal movements to where the 5th of this chord, which is D, 5th fret, 5th string, will become the root of the next chord. And we'll continue this. So these are the same changes we did in workout number 1 here in level 3, but we're doing them with 3-note voicings. Now, of course, we'll max out the neck within 4 chords instead of 5. So we'll get here to this high E5. And remember, you got to have that 4th string barring technique, 4th finger barring technique rather. So what's going to happen from here is we're going to diagonally come down the neck. And we're going to do this in major thirds. So the roots are going to be E5, C5, and A flat 5 down to E5. So you can hear that augmented triad. But we're going to do them, of course, with 3-note voiced power chords. And then again, we're going to do a horizontal major third down to a C5. And then once again, another major third down to an A flat 5. What that does, it puts us in the third bar where we're going to play the same sequence again. We're going to play A flat 5 and do that series of stacked fifths, ending up at the F5 in the 10th position. And then we'll continue that movement down with the augmented triad roots. So it'll be F5 this time. It'll be F5, D flat 5, A5, F5, and then down a major third to C sharp 5, and then down a major third to A5. So we did the same exact sequence. So you might think, hey, no problem. The tough part is the vision that you established in the first place is going to be the same vision, but only a half step higher. And making those diagonal movements, whether it's the one with the stacked fifths and the augmented triads, it's very tricky to move that up chromatically. So yet again, we have another example of how these are deceptively simple. Once you get to that 5th position A5, after you do the second sequence that started on A flat 5, you'll make the same journey. Stacked fifths, you'll end up at the 11th position F sharp 5. You'll make that descending augmented triad movement of the roots, and you go through all the chords until you end up at 10th position D5. What that does is it sets up a 5-chord change down to the G5, and that's how you loop it. And you'll play it over and over again. So throughout the workout, you're going to play 3-note power chords in 2 different diagonal directions. It's going to take all your muting technique that you've been working on to play these cleanly. It's also going to take a lot of concentration to make these changes because you're playing a complex sequence and you're moving it up the neck in half steps. So it might seem simple on paper, and again, you're just looking at a quarter note rhythm, but it's tricky. It's very tricky. So start out at 60 beats per minute and put the time in to make sure that the changes are clean and everything that needs to be there to play it clean is there. Once you're ready, we will start this and we will get it going at 60 beats per minute, and we will drill for 4 minutes and work and work and work until we get to 120 beats per minute.